make a real quick video on 5 bands that you've never listened to. I listen to a lot of really obscure music. I have a roommate named Rob, and recently we did a website where it goes through your Spotify playlists and your music taste, and it tells you how obscure yours is based on some random percentage. I don't know how they calculate it. His was somewhere around like 50%, 60% or so. Mine was at like 94%. So I listen to a lot of really obscure music. I don't want to say like, oh, I'm so quirky, like I listen to Queen, I bet you never heard this. But no, there's a lot of stuff that people are like, Peter, what is this when they pass me the office? So I wanted to talk about 5 bands you've never listened to. And hopefully you'll start listening to them, because I think they're really worth listening to. The first is a little band, a Swedish band called Boy. It's a duo, 2 girls, which is, I think, probably the irony of the name Boy. And they make a lot of different kind of folk music, singer-songwriter music. For example, their biggest hit is a song called Little Numbers, where it's just a piano and a guitar, and they just sing it. They have a lot of really just acoustic, vibey music, sort of folky, sort of poppy. It's really great stuff. Their biggest song is called Little Numbers, and they've got a lot of other songs like Boris and Skin and Drive Darling. It's really great stuff. I highly recommend giving them a shot because they're worth it. They make some good videos. They're coming out with a new album really soon. They're dropping some singles, which I've been seeing on Instagram recently. It's a song called Fit Back In. The second band that you should listen to is called The Wiles. The Wiles is a very similar band. They're much more folky, a little bit of almost polka vibes. They make music with basically whatever they can find. I went to see these guys live maybe around 2009 or so. I was a kid. I was around 13, and I went to see it with my family. And they're just really surreal. They're a really good band. Some of their biggest songs, or songs that I like a lot, is a song called Tika Masala, and they've got Everybody Loves My Baby, and the Natty Dread Polka, which is a very interesting song, but it's great. I love it a lot. They played the Zoom in that one, which is interesting. They'll use megaphones, they'll use just bins and tubs and containers, and it's very interesting. They make some really good music. They'll use kazoos and all these kinds of things. Yeah, a lot of really great songs by The Wiles. I like them a lot. It's a group of old guys. They're really talented, so I recommend giving them a shot. The third pick is artist Randy Stonehill. He's a Christian rock artist from the 80s and 90s, and I love him a lot. He makes a little bit of silly music as well, but a lot of serious music that deals with Christian life and how we as Christians should live or do live. And a lot of other just songs examining the human condition. One of my favorite songs of this is a song called Christmas at Denny's. That's one of my favorite songs of all time. Christmas at Denny's, talking about a guy walking into a diner Christmas Eve, and he's all alone, and he doesn't have anyone to turn to. So it's a song about that, and it's really powerful stuff. I like it a lot. My fourth pick is a band called Fiction Family. It's a duo again, and they're also a little bit of a folky / acoustic rock kind of band. I love them a lot. It's just 2 guys coming from other bands and other music writing. This is sort of their side project, their passion project almost. They write a lot of their own songs, and they do a couple of covers, and they make some really good music. And some of my favorites from them are a song called Just Drop Me and another song called My Forgetful Baby. Both really great, just flirty songs about interesting women. It's a really great time, so I highly recommend checking out Fiction Family. And for my final pick, as the bands, for 5 bands that you've never heard of, my final pick and my second favorite band of all time is a little band called Moxie Provis. Moxie Provis is a great band. I love them a lot. They are a Canadian band that were formed in the 90s, and
operated mostly throughout the 90s and then the early 2000s.
They were around 25 when they first started, which is my age, so I've been listening to them my entire life. My dad introduced me to them.
But they're just an amazing band. Again, very folk. You'll see my music taste come out in this. A lot of silly songs again, but also a lot of really serious songs and songs that examine the human condition and the world that they were living at the time, which also can still reflect to modern day. And it's really great stuff.
A drinking song, which is about a guy that his obsession with drinking drives him to get vodka. But then there's a lot of silly songs like King of Spain, about the King of Spain becoming a Easter parlor. It's very fun time.
River Valley, Darlington Darling, Disco Bandito. There's so many good songs by Max Caputo. If I listen to them all, there's not a single Max Caputo song I do not enjoy.
So if you choose one band to listen to, highly recommend Max Caputo. Can't recommend them enough.
Yes, I've placed 5 songs by these 5 bands into a playlist, which I'm going to put down in the description or in the bio.
25 songs in total. And yeah, I highly recommend listening to them. These are some of their best songs, at least in my opinion.
If you're interested, I could do another one of these videos with 5 more bands or 5 songs that you've never heard of or something like that. I really love obscure music, so if you have any questions, feel free to ask me about these bands, about other bands, things that might pertain to you, about your music tastes, my recommendations. Yeah, I highly recommend checking these out. They're really great stuff. Thanks for watching.